Today's lesson is SS8.3 and we're talking about the volume of right rectangular and right triangular prisms and volume of cylinders. Okay, so here's the first formula you need to know. This is a right rectangular prism and your formula is going to be volume equals length times width times height. Alright, so fairly basic. So we've got our length, our width, and our height. And all you do is take those numbers and multiply them together. So if the lengths are, say, 5, 10, and 6, then you take 5 times 10 times 6 and you get 300 centimeters cubed. Note, we are in cubed formation now because volume is what's inside, not area, which is the faces. Okay? So let's do a few here. First thing you want to do is actually write that formula every time. Okay, length times width times height. And you're just going to take those numbers and plug them in. And it's a good idea to get into the right habit of putting the right number at the right spot. Width is 4, height is 7. Okay, you can also write it like this. Get rid of... We've got 12 times 4 times 7, which is 336 centimeters cubed. Alright, same thing goes over here. Volume equals length times width times height, which is length is 21. Width is 5. Doing this shape here, and then the height is 2. Okay, so 21 times 5 times 2 will be 210 centimeters cubed. Alright, it's a simple formula. Really, you can't get the answer wrong if you mix these up because it's just 3 numbers times each other. And then just recall that you need to write it in the proper format with a centimeter cubed. Alright, so the formula to calculate the volume of a right rectangular prism is 1/2 base times height times length. Okay, so here we've got a picture. Length is the prism's length. Height is the height of the triangle, so that's right here. And base is the length of the base of the triangle, which is right here. Okay, so here's your other triangle. So this is the same as this up here. Okay, they've given the measurements there. We're going to do this on the next page. Volume equals 1/2 base times height times length. In some places you might see this occur because 0.5 is the same as 1/2. And that's what you're going to punch on your calculator. You can do it this way, or you can take these 3 and divide them by 2. That's what we're going to do here. So we've got 1/2 times 13 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 21. I get 1911. I'll just show you this. I wouldn't actually probably write this step. Doesn't hurt though. And then I'm going to divide that by 2. Alright, because I'm taking half of it. So my answer is 955.5 centimeters cubed. Okay? Formula, important. Making sure you have the right numbers, important. Okay, and then plug it in. So let's try one on our own here. Volume equals 1/2 base times height times length. So we've got 1/2 times the base of the triangle, which is right here. Got a decimal number, times the height of the triangle, which is here because it's at the right angle, times the length of the prism. And that gives us 1/2 times 80, or sorry, times 180, which gives us 90 centimeters cubed is the area of this. So it's everything inside. inside. Okay, we're not talking about these faces anymore. We're talking about in. Fills up the whole space inside. All right, let's talk about the cylinder. So, same thing, we got a new formula. Volume equals pi r squared h. We've seen this before, reminding you pi equals 3.14 in our math here. Okay, so the radius here is given, that's 3, the height is 5. Plug in the numbers, 3.14 times 3 centimeters squared times 5 centimeters. And this is what we get. So this would be 3.14 times 9 times 5. Okay, so let's do a couple here, just plugging the numbers in. Here's my formula up here. You should write that every time. I'm just going to use that for space-wise. So we've got 3.14 times the radius is 5 squared times 8. Don't lose this exponent. 3.14 times 25 times 8, and that gives us 628 centimeters cubed. This one we're going 3.14 times the radius, and again, don't forget, if you're given diameter, you can just knock that in half to get your radius. So we'll probably do that in a few questions. Squared times 14. So I've got 3.14 times 36 times 14, which gives me 1,582.56, and note the units were millimeters this time, cubed. So pay attention to that.